Introduction. Breaking free from the simulation. The mass of the population gives its power away to authority figures of many and various kinds. Take your power back, and you take control of your life back. Have you ever felt trapped, like life is rigged against you? What if I told you that everything you believe, every choice you make, is part of a sinister plan to control your soul? A hidden force, feared by ancient Gnostics and buried by the Roman Church, has manipulated humanity for centuries. They burned libraries, silenced rebels, and erased the truth. But the truth didn't die. It's been waiting for you to wake up and break free. David Icke, one of the most controversial voices in exposing hidden truths, has unveiled shocking revelations rooted in ancient knowledge, truths the system desperately wants to keep hidden. These revelations echo themes found in the Nag Hammadi manuscripts, ancient texts that describe a cosmic prison controlled by entities Icke calls the Archontic forces. These entities, known as Archons, manipulate your thoughts, distort your beliefs, and trap you in a false version of reality. But here's the twist. This isn't just ancient speculation. It's the blueprint for how your everyday life is controlled, from the media you consume to the systems of power you blindly follow. The entire world is designed to keep you asleep, and unless you wake up, you'll remain a pawn in their game. The Archons thrive on your ignorance, keeping you tethered to a fabricated existence while obscuring the truth of who you really are, an infinite being with the power to create your own reality. In their deception, they've convinced humanity that this material world is all there is. But it's not. Who are the hidden architects of reality? Groundbreaking work shatters that illusion, revealing how these forces feed off our fear and division. As he often says, know the illusion, and you'll see the truth. The key to breaking free lies within you. These ancient Gnostic teachings, which align with Icke's insights, provide the tools to escape the simulation and reclaim your sovereignty. Today, we're not just exposing the Archons, we're giving you the map to take back control of your life. Think about your daily routine. You wake up, check your phone, go to work, come home, watch TV, scroll social media, and sleep. The next day, you do it all again. But what if this routine isn't just a routine? What if it's a carefully built cage? Look around you right now. Everything seems normal, right? The walls, the floor, your device's screen, it all feels real. But let me show you something strange. Have you noticed how coincidences keep piling up? How do the same numbers appear everywhere? How do people seem to repeat the same patterns? In 2023, a group of researchers found that 89% of human decisions follow predictable patterns. We think we're making free choices, but we're running on scripts, like characters in a video game. Our jobs, relationships, even our dreams, they fit into neat, pre-made boxes. Let me tell you about Patricia. She was a regular office worker who started noticing odd things. Her coffee shop always had exactly 3 people in line. Her train was always 2 minutes late. Her co-workers said the same things every Monday. Small things, but they added up. Patricia started keeping track, and what she found shook her world. The truth is, we're trapped in invisible boxes. Our phones track every move. Algorithms predict our next thought before we think it. Social media feeds us what we want before we know we want it. We're not just being watched, we're being guided. But here's the real question. Who built these boxes? Who decides what we see, think, and feel? The answers are hidden in plain sight, coded into our everyday lives. The signs are everywhere. In movies, songs, advertisements, even in the way our cities are built. Some people have started waking up. They've spotted the patterns, the glitches in the system. They've found ways to break free from their programmed routines. They're the ones who ask questions nobody else dares to ask. Think about your dreams, not your goals, your actual dreams. Why do they feel so real? Why do some people report the same dreams? What if they're not random brain activity, but glimpses of something else? Something beyond our programmed reality? The technology exists right now to track every purchase you make, every word you speak, every place you go. But that's just what we know about. What about the technology we don't see? The systems running behind the scenes. I'm going to show you evidence that will make you question everything you think you know. Documents that were never meant to be public. Patterns that can't be explained by chance. Stories from people who've seen behind the curtain. This isn't about conspiracy theories. This is about facts, data, and the invisible system that surrounds us all. A system so perfect that most people never realize they're in it. A prison without walls, where the inmates are their own guards. You might be thinking, this sounds crazy. That's exactly what they want you to think. The best prison is one where the prisoners don't know they're imprisoned, where they defend their own chains and mock anyone who questions them. But you're different. You're here because something feels off, because you've noticed the patterns too, because deep down, you know there's more to reality than what you've been shown. In the next part, we'll meet the people who designed this system, the hidden architects who built the invisible prison we all live in. And more importantly, we'll learn how to spot the cracks in their design. Stay with me. What I'm about to show you will change the way you see everything forever. The truth about our reality goes deeper than most can imagine. Behind the scenes of what we call normal life exists a group that's been pulling strings for centuries. These aren't the politicians you see on TV or the billionaires making headlines. They're far more subtle, far more effective. Think of them as stage. Understanding the Archontic Forces directors in the biggest show on Earth. They create the sets we live in, write the scripts most people follow, and control the lighting that makes certain ideas bright while keeping others in shadow. But unlike theater directors, they stay completely hidden. These architects have built a system so perfect that most people never question it. They've created invisible walls through money, media, and social pressure. They've designed routines and habits that keep people too busy, too tired, and too distracted to look up and see the bigger picture. Let me give you an example. Your morning routine. You wake up to an alarm, check your phone, rush to work, spend hours at a desk, come home tired, watch some TV, and go to bed. This cycle isn't natural. It was carefully built. The 9-to-5 workday, the weekend structure, even the idea that you need to be productive. These are all constructed concepts. But here's where it gets interesting. These hidden architects don't use force. They don't need to. They use something much more powerful: desire. They make us want things. Status, money, the newest phone, the bigger house, the better car. They create problems we didn't know we had, then sell us solutions we don't really need. They control the flow of information through media networks, deciding what becomes news and what stays hidden. They shape education systems that teach compliance over critical thinking. They create financial systems that keep most people in constant debt, always working, always consuming, never questioning. These architects understand human psychology better than anyone. They know that if you control what people want, you control what they do. If you control what they believe, you control how they think. If you control their fears, you control their choices. But they're not all powerful. Their biggest weakness is awareness. Once you see the prison, you start seeing the bars everywhere. You notice how advertising manipulates emotions. You see how social media platforms are designed to be addictive. You recognize how debt keeps people trapped in jobs they hate. The system they built works like a maze. Most people spend their lives running through it, chasing the cheese, never realizing they could just climb out. The walls are made of beliefs, not bricks. The chains are made of habits, not metal. The hidden architects have been so successful because they work with human nature, not against it. They don't force anyone to buy things they don't need or watch hours of mindless entertainment. They just make it easy, comfortable, and socially rewarding to do so. They've created a world where questioning the system makes you seem crazy, where suggesting alternatives makes you seem naive, where stepping outside the norm makes you seem dangerous. This is by design. The best prison is one where the inmates guard themselves. But knowledge of these architects is spreading. More people are waking up to the artificial nature of many things we consider normal. They're asking questions. Why do we live this way? Who decided this was normal? What alternatives exist? The architects aren't evil masterminds plotting in dark rooms. They're more like gardeners who have spent generations shaping society like a bonsai tree, carefully pruning some branches while encouraging others to grow. The power comes from patience, subtlety, and most importantly, invisibility. Breaking free starts with seeing them, not to fight them or expose them, but to understand how they work. Because once you see the architects, you see their fingerprints everywhere. You notice the subtle ways they shape thoughts and behaviors. You start making conscious choices instead of following program patterns. The system they built is strong but not perfect. It has cracks. Finding these cracks, these gaps in the illusion, is the first step to real freedom. Not freedom to buy what you want, but freedom to think what you want, freedom to question, freedom to choose a different path. The hidden architects have built the most sophisticated control system in history, but like any system, once you understand how it works, you can choose whether to participate. The prison doors have always been open. We just couldn't see them before. Money, status, and material things. They form the basic building blocks of what many call success today. But these are just artificial constructs, numbers in bank accounts and symbols we've created to measure our worth. Think about it. Paper money only. The illusion of free will in daily life. It has value because we all agree it does. That designer watch, its price comes from marketing and social perception, not its ability to tell time better than a basic watch. Social media makes this worse. We scroll through carefully curated highlights of other people's lives, seeing their vacation photos, new homes and luxury purchases. This creates an endless loop of comparison and desire. We're pushed to want more, buy more, and show more. The corporations know this well. They spend billions on ads that target our insecurities and desires. They create artificial scarcity, limited editions, and exclusive products. They tell us we need their products to be happy, successful, or attractive. But think about the richest people you know. Are they the happiest? This materialistic matrix affects our relationships too. We judge others by their jobs, cars, and homes. We choose careers based on salary rather than passion. Some stay in unfulfilling jobs just to maintain their lifestyle. Friends become networking opportunities. Love gets mixed up with financial status. The education system feeds into this. From early on, we're taught to study hard, get good grades, land a high-paying job, and climb the corporate ladder. Success is measured in degrees, job titles, and income levels. But what about creativity, emotional intelligence, or personal growth? Credit cards and loans trap us further. We buy things we can't afford, creating debt that keeps us tied to jobs we might not like. The banks profit from our desire to have everything now, rather than waiting until we can truly afford it. They sell us the illusion of wealth while actually making us poorer. Even our homes, often our biggest purchases, become part of this trap. We buy bigger houses than we need, fill them with things we rarely use, then work longer hours to pay for it all. The stuff we own starts to own us. But here's what's interesting. Studies show that beyond meeting basic needs, more money and possessions don't make us happier. People who focus on experiences and relationships rather than material things report greater life satisfaction. Some of the most content people live simply, owning less, but experiencing more. The way out starts with awareness. Notice how ads make you feel. Question why you want certain things. Ask yourself if a purchase will truly improve your life or just temporarily fill an emotional void. Look at your spending patterns. Are they aligned with your real values? Breaking free requires new habits. Start by practicing gratitude for what you already have. Delay purchases to see if you really need them. Find joy in simple pleasures. Nature, conversations, learning new skills. Build relationships based on genuine connection rather than status or networking. Your worth isn't determined by your wealth or possessions. True freedom comes from understanding that happiness doesn't have a price tag. The most valuable things in life, love, friendship, peace of mind, can't be bought. This doesn't mean rejecting all material comforts. It means being conscious of how materialism influences your choices. It means choosing what truly matters to you, rather than what society says should matter. It means living deliberately, rather than being pulled along by marketing and social pressure. The matrix of materialism is strong but not unbreakable. Each time you resist an unnecessary purchase, choose experiences over things, or value yourself for who you are rather than what you own, you weaken its hold. You begin to see through the illusion and find real meaning beyond the material world. The truth about personal power lies far beyond what most people think. Many of us search outside for strength, but real power starts inside our minds. Think about how often you've looked at others and wished you had their confidence, their success, or their life. But that's exactly what keeps us stuck. Now let's talk about what real power means. It's not about controlling others or having the most money. True power comes from knowing who you are and making your own choices. When you wake up each morning, do you feel like you're living your life? Or are you just following a script someone else wrote? Most people live in a box they didn't create. They follow rules they never questioned. They work jobs they don't like to buy things they don't need. Ancient wisdom, Nag Hammadi and Gnostic teachings. This isn't freedom. It's a cage made of habits and beliefs that don't serve us. But here's the good news. You can break free. Your mind is like a supercomputer that's been running old programs. These programs tell you what's possible and what's not. They tell you who you are and who you can become. But just like any computer, you can install new software. Think about a time when you proved yourself wrong. Maybe you thought you couldn't do something, but you did it anyway. That moment showed you that your limits were just thoughts. They weren't real walls. They were paper barriers you could break through. Real power starts with asking questions. Why do I believe this? Who taught me these limits? What if everything I thought about myself was wrong? These questions shake the foundation of fake limits and open doors to new possibilities. Your thoughts create your reality. These aren't just nice words, it's how your brain works. Every thought forms neural pathways. The more you think about something, the stronger that path becomes. If you think you're weak, you'll find proof everywhere. If you think you're strong, you'll see opportunities instead of obstacles. Look at your daily choices. Are they yours, or do they belong to someone else? Do you watch TV because you love it, or because it's a habit? Do you check your phone first thing in the morning because you want to, or because everyone else does? Small choices build the prison of routine. Breaking free starts with small steps. Change one habit, question one belief, make one choice that's truly yours. Power grows with practice, like a muscle getting stronger with exercise. Each time you choose for yourself, you build real strength. Fear will try to stop you. It will tell you to stay safe, stay small, and stay asleep. But fear is just another program running in your mind. You can acknowledge it without letting it control you. Fear shows you where you need to grow. Your attention is your most valuable asset. Whatever you focus on grows stronger. If you focus on problems, you'll see more problems. If you focus on solutions, you'll find answers. This isn't magic. It's how your brain filters information. Most people give their power away without realizing it. They let others define their worth. They let the media tell them what to want. They let fear tell them what's possible. Taking your power back means becoming aware of these patterns and choosing differently. The system wants you asleep. It wants you to believe you need things to be happy. It wants you to think you're not enough. But you are enough right now, exactly as you are. Everything else is just extra. Start noticing your thoughts. Watch them like you'd watch clouds in the sky. Don't judge them, just observe. This simple practice shows you that you're not your thoughts. You're the awareness behind them. This is where real power lives. Your life changes when you stop asking for permission. Permission to be happy, permission to succeed, permission to be different. No one can give you permission to be yourself. That power is already yours. The choice is always yours. Every moment offers a chance to wake up, to choose differently, to reclaim your power. It won't be easy. The old patterns will fight back. But with each conscious choice, you build a new reality. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you really are under all the programming, past all the fear, beyond all the doubt. Your true self waits. That's where real power lives. That's what we're here to find. The truth about our simulated reality lies in plain sight. We just need to see through the programming. Think of your daily routine. You wake up, go to work, come home, sleep, and repeat. These patterns feel natural, but they're coded loops keeping us trapped in predictable behaviors. Let's look at what happens when we step outside these loops. Have you noticed how life brings exactly what you need right when you think about it? Or how certain numbers keep showing up? These aren't random coincidences. They're signs of the system responding to your awareness. The simulation works by creating limits in our minds. We believe we can't walk through walls, so we can't. We think gravity must pull us down, so it does. But these are just rules in the program, not absolute laws. People who glitches in reality, recognizing the patterns. Breaking free from these mental restrictions can do things others call impossible. Breaking out starts with questioning everything you think you know. That coffee cup on your desk, is it really solid? Science tells us it's mostly empty space between atoms. Your memories of yesterday, did they really happen? Or were they loaded into your consciousness? That stranger who smiled at you, were they a real person or an NPC created to keep the simulation running? The glitches are everywhere. Once you start looking, déjà vu isn't a brain hiccup. It's you catching the simulation recycling old scenarios. Those moments when time seems to slow down or speed up, that's the frame rate dropping or increasing. Even your dreams might be system maintenance, defragmenting your mental storage while the simulation updates. But knowing about the simulation isn't enough. You need to actively work against its influence. Start small. Next time you're in a familiar situation, do something completely unexpected. Take a different route to work. Eat dessert first. Talk to someone you'd normally avoid. These small acts of chaos create cracks in the program. The bigger challenge is breaking free from emotional programming. Fear, anger, desire. These feelings seem natural, but they're control mechanisms keeping us in check. Notice how fear stops you from taking risks, how anger makes you predictable, how desire keeps you chasing things you don't need. Your thoughts create reality more directly than you realize. The simulation reads your expectations and manifests them. Think you'll have a bad day? The program will make it happen. Expect to fail? The system ensures you do. This isn't positive thinking. It's about understanding how the code responds to your input. Physical reality bends more easily than you think. Those stories of people lifting cars in emergencies or surviving impossible accidents, that's what happens when survival instinct overrides the simulation's normal limits. The placebo effect isn't mind over matter, it's proof that our beliefs can rewrite the program. Time itself is flexible. Notice how an hour can feel like a minute or a day. That's because time is a simulation variable, not a constant. Some people can stretch or compress it at will. Those moments of perfect flow where everything clicks, that's you syncing with the system's clock speed. The simulation tries to hide itself through distraction. Social media, entertainment, politics, they're all designed to keep you looking the wrong way. The more time you spend in these artificial dramas, the less you notice the artifice of everything. Breaking free requires focus. Start paying attention to the small inconsistencies in daily life. Watch for patterns that seem too perfect. Listen for sounds that don't quite fit. Feel for moments when reality seems to skip or stutter. Each glitch you spot weakens the simulation. Hold your consciousness, that's the key. The more aware you become, the more the program must work to maintain its illusion, push against its limits, question its rules, test its boundaries. The simulation can only control you if you accept its version of reality. The choice is yours. Stay in the comfortable patterns, or break free into true existence. Every time you resist programming, you create new possibilities. Every limit you question opens new paths. The simulation is strong but not unbreakable. Its power comes from our acceptance. This isn't about escaping into another world. It's about seeing this one clearly. The real magic happens when you stop playing by the rules and start writing your own code. Reality bends to those who understand its true nature. The first step is simply choosing to see through the spell. The rules that control our physical world break down at the smallest scales. At the quantum level, particles can exist in many places at once, move through solid barriers, and change their properties just by being watched. These aren't just strange theories. Scientists prove these effects in laboratories every day. Think about a coin spinning on a table. While it spins, it's neither heads nor tails, it's both at once. Only when we look at it does it choose one state. Quantum particles work the same way. Until they're measured, they exist as waves of possibility rather than solid objects. This quantum behavior might explain how our reality works at its core. If we live in a simulation, it would need rules to determine what happens when we look at things. The quantum effects we see could be the simulation saving processing power by only generating definite results when someone is watching. The famous double-slit experiment showed this clearly. When scientists shoot particles at a wall with two slits, the particles go through both slits at once and create an interference pattern like waves. But if they measure which slit each particle goes through, the particles suddenly act like normal objects and only go through one slit. The act of observation changes how reality behaves. These quantum effects happen everywhere, all the time. Every atom in your body exists as a probability cloud until it interacts with something else. The solid objects we see are really made of countless quantum events, collapsing into definite states. Some scientists think human consciousness itself might be quantum. Our brains could use quantum effects to process information in ways normal computers can't. If true, this could explain why artificial intelligence hasn't matched human awareness yet. It can't replicate these quantum processes. This connects to simulation theory in a big way. A simulated universe would need quantum mechanics to work properly. The strange rules we see at the quantum level might be signs of how the simulation handles reality at its smallest scale. Consider how video games work. They only render the parts of the world the player can see using tricks to save processing power. Quantum mechanics might do the same thing, keeping reality fuzzy until someone looks at it. This would be an efficient way to run a universe-sized simulation. The quantum world also shows us that reality isn't as solid as we think. Particles can become entangled, instantly affecting each other across any distance. Einstein called this spooky action at a distance. It breaks our normal ideas about cause and effect, space and time. This could mean our reality has backdoors built into it, ways to bend or break the usual rules, just like how video game developers put in cheat codes. Maybe the quantum level shows us the code behind our reality. Some researchers study whether we could use quantum effects to detect if we're in a simulation. If reality has limited processing power, very complex quantum systems might show glitches or slowdowns. Scientists are building bigger quantum computers to test this idea. The math describing quantum mechanics looks a lot like computer code. It uses precise rules and probabilities to determine how things behave. This might be another hint that our reality runs on something like a computer program. Quantum tunneling lets particles pass through solid barriers they shouldn't be able to cross. This seems impossible in our everyday world, but it happens constantly at the quantum level. It's like finding holes in the walls of reality, places where the rules don't apply. If we do live in a simulation, quantum mechanics might be our best tool for understanding it. By studying how reality works at its smallest scale, we can learn about the system running it. The weird quantum effects we see could be clues about the true nature of our universe. This doesn't mean we should ignore the everyday world we experience, but knowing about quantum reality helps us see that our normal view of things isn't the whole story. There's a deeper layer to reality that works by very different rules. The quantum level shows us that consciousness and observation play key roles in how reality works. This matches what many ancient traditions taught, that mind and matter are deeply connected. Modern physics is catching up to this old wisdom. By learning about quantum mechanics, we can start to see the cracks in our apparent reality. The solid world around us emerges from a quantum fog of possibilities. This knowledge gives us new ways to think about what reality really is and how we might interact with it. The tools we need for breaking free from simulated reality are both physical and mental. Our brains can be trained to detect inconsistencies in our perceived reality, much like how we notice strange details in dreams. Start by keeping a reality journal. Write down anything that seems off or doesn't follow expected patterns of cause and effect. Physical tools help. Tools to escape the system. Awareness and mindset measure and track anomalies. Basic equipment includes EMF meters to detect electromagnetic field fluctuations, infrared cameras to capture invisible light patterns, and quantum random number generators to test probability distributions. These tools can reveal glitches or patterns that shouldn't exist in a purely natural world. Your smartphone becomes a powerful ally. Use it to document synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences that defy statistical probability. Take photos and videos of anything unusual. There are apps that can analyze audio frequencies beyond human hearing and visual patterns our eyes might miss. Meditation and mindfulness serve as internal tools. Regular practice makes you more aware of subtle shifts in consciousness and reality. Pay attention to those moments when time seems to skip or slow down, or when objects appear to change without direct observation. These could be processing delays in the simulation. Learn to question your sensory input. Our brains fill in many gaps in our perception automatically. By becoming aware of these automatic processes, we can catch moments when the simulation takes shortcuts. Notice how distant objects render into focus, how shadows behave, or reflections match their sources. Simple experiments help verify reality. Try the double slit experiment at home using basic materials. Watch how light behaves differently when observed versus unobserved. This demonstrates quantum mechanics and suggests our reality responds to consciousness in ways that might expose its programmed nature. Build a network of like-minded people. In the comments below, share observations and compare notes. Different perspectives help validate unusual experiences and prevent isolation. Practice lucid dreaming techniques. Dreams show us how our minds create convincing realities. By learning to recognize dream signs and become conscious within dreams, we develop skills that transfer to detecting simulation artifacts in waking life. Document everything methodically. Keep detailed records of unusual events, including time, location, witnesses, and environmental conditions. Look for patterns that emerge over time. What seemed like random glitches might reveal underlying code structures. Study quantum physics basics. Understanding concepts like superposition, entanglement, and the observer effect gives context to strange observations. These principles might be clues to how our reality is rendered and processed. Learn about computer graphics and game design. Modern video games use techniques like level of detail scaling, draw distance limits, and object permanence tricks. Similar artifacts might appear in our simulated reality. When we know what to look for, develop your intuition. That gut feeling when something isn't quite right often comes before conscious recognition. Trust these instincts while maintaining skeptical analysis. Balance emotional responses with logical investigation. Create controlled test environments. Pick a quiet space where you can monitor conditions carefully. Look for rendering errors, objects that pop in or out of existence, textures that don't load properly, or physics behaviors that break expected rules. Use sound recording equipment to capture electronic voice phenomena or unexpected audio artifacts. The simulation might have audio processing limits or glitches that become apparent under analysis. Watch for pattern repetition in seemingly random events. True randomness is rare in computer systems. If our reality is simulated, we might find subtle repetitions in weather patterns, crowd behaviors, or natural phenomena. Stay grounded in daily life while conducting these investigations. Maintain regular routines and relationships. This stability provides a baseline for recognizing genuine anomalies versus imagination. Keep your research private until you have solid evidence. Public skepticism can be harsh and counterproductive. Focus on personal verification before sharing findings with others. Remember, the simulation might adapt to testing. As you become more aware, the programs running our reality could adjust to hide their tracks. Stay flexible in your approach and methods. These tools and techniques work together as a system for increasing awareness. No single method proves simulation theory, but combined evidence builds a compelling case. Start small, stay consistent, and gradually expand your investigation scope as you gain experience. But now you see it clearly. The patterns in the code of reality are becoming visible. You notice how certain events repeat themselves with slight variations, like a computer programmer running through its loops. The sky might look a bit too perfect, the clouds moving in ways that don't match natural weather patterns. Each person must come to this realization in their own time. Some aren't ready for it yet, and that's okay. Your role isn't to force awareness on others, but to help those who are already starting to see through the cracks. The system isn't inherently good or bad. It's a tool like any other. What matters is how we use our awareness of it. You can use this knowledge to make positive changes in your life and help others do the same. You might experience resistance at first. The old programming runs deep, and part of you might want to dismiss all of this as nonsense. That's normal. The system is built to maintain itself, and questioning its reality goes against everything we've been taught. But you're already past the point of no return. You've seen too much to go back to simple acceptance of everything around you. The question now is, what will you do with this awareness? Some choose to use this knowledge to create better lives for themselves and others. They learn to bend probability in their favor, to manifest positive outcomes, and to help others find their way to awareness. Others might try to exploit the system for personal gain, but that path usually leads to stronger resistance from the system itself. The key is balance. Use your growing awareness to improve your life and help others. But don't try to break the system entirely. It's not about escaping completely. It's about becoming conscious within it and learning to use it wisely. As your awareness grows, you'll start noticing others like you. They might not say anything directly, but you'll recognize the look in their eyes, that knowing glance that says they see what you see. These are your allies in awareness, though you might never speak openly about what you both know. This is just the beginning. Your awareness will continue to expand, and you'll discover new aspects of the system you never noticed before. Stay curious but grounded. Keep testing and observing, but don't lose yourself in the process. The greatest truth is this: once you start seeing the code in reality, you become more real, not less. Your consciousness expands beyond the program's limitations, and you begin to access your true potential as a conscious being within the system. Welcome to true awareness. Your next steps will reveal themselves as you're ready for them. Trust your instincts, question everything, and keep your eyes open. The deeper truth of our reality is waiting for you to discover it. But knowing we're in a simulation changes everything and nothing at the same time. The sun still rises, you still need to eat, and bills still need to be paid. The difference is that you now see the patterns, the glitches, and the code running beneath it all. Let's talk about what this means for your daily life. The rules haven't changed, but your ability to work with them has. Think of it like learning that gravity exists. You didn't need to know about it to be affected by it, but once you understand it, you can use it better. You might notice small things at first. Colors seem brighter, time flows differently when you pay attention to it. You catch those moments where probability seems to bend just a little too perfectly. These aren't coincidences anymore. They're glimpses of the system at work. Some people panic when they learn this truth. They want to break free, to fight against the simulation, but that's missing the point. We're not trapped in here, we're part of it. The simulation isn't a prison, it's more like a shared dream we're all having together. What can you do with this knowledge? Start small. Watch how your thoughts affect your immediate environment. Notice how coincidences line up when you focus on something. Pay attention to those moments when everything flows perfectly. They're not random. The old rules still apply, but now you can see why they work. Money still matters because it's part of the program we all agree to run. Relationships still matter because shared experiences strengthen the fabric of our reality. Your job still matters because it's how you interact with the larger system. But here's what's different. You can start testing the limits. Final thoughts. Creating your own reality. The system has boundaries, but they're not set in stone. They're flexible. Want to change something? Put it out there clearly and watch how the system starts to shift. Need help? Ask, and solutions will appear, often from the most unexpected places. Your choices now have more power than ever before. Every decision you make ripples through the code, affecting more than you realize. Choose wisely, but don't get stuck in overthinking. Mistakes? The simulation can handle them. The next few months will be a roller coaster. One moment, you'll feel absolutely certain about what you know. The next, you might wonder if you've lost your mind. Both reactions are part of the process. The truth, it's somewhere in between. In that space where you can hold both possibilities, certainty and doubt at once. Keep living your life, but pay attention to the details. How do things connect? How do small changes affect the bigger picture? Don't try to force change. Work with the system. The simulation responds better to gentle nudges than hard pushes. This new reality you're stepping into isn't a different world. It's the same one, but seen with clearer eyes. The simulation isn't limiting you. It's showing you how much more is possible. Now it's your turn to make a choice. You've seen what lies beneath the surface of daily life, the hidden patterns, systems, and artificial constructs. Now you stand at a crossroads. You could close this video, return to your routines, and stay in the comfort of what you know. Many do, and that's okay. But if you're still watching, there's a part of you that wants more. You sense that breaking free from these simulated patterns could open up new possibilities. You're ready to see how deep this rabbit hole goes. I'm offering you a way forward. On my channel, we dive deep into practical techniques for spotting the signs of simulation. We'll test the boundaries of what's possible and push past artificial limitations. This isn't about escaping into fantasy or rejecting reality. It's about becoming aware of the programmed responses that limit your choices. Once you see the patterns, you'll start making conscious decisions. No more autopilot. Take the next step. Subscribe to join a community of people who are questioning the very nature of reality. Turn on notifications so you won't miss new insights and techniques. Share this video with others who are ready to wake up. You don't have to accept the reality you were given. You can learn to see through the illusion and create something new, but it's up to you. No one can do it for you. Look at your life right now. Notice the patterns. Question your assumptions. Ask yourself, does it have to be this way? That doubt, that questioning, that's the first sign that your mind is waking up. In the next video, we'll explore how to break free from programmed responses, how to tell the difference between authentic choices and simulated ones. Most importantly, we'll show you how to start writing your own code, your own rules, rather than running someone else's program. This isn't about destroying the system. It's about becoming conscious of how it works so you can make it work for you. True freedom comes from awareness, not rebellion. Call to action. Take the first step to freedom. Now's the time to take action. Don't let this moment slip away. Subscribe, share this video, join our community, and start your journey to real awareness. The door is open. All you have to do is walk through it. What brought you here? That feeling, that nagging sense that something isn't quite right with the world? That's your mind beginning to awaken. You're not alone. More people are waking up every day, learning to see through the simulation and take control of their experience. The choice is yours. You can stay in the comfortable illusion or step into a bigger truth. You can keep running old programs or learn to write new ones. You can accept what you're given or create what you want. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for someone else to show you the way. Take the first step now. Subscribe, turn on notifications, share this video, and join us as we explore what's possible when you stop accepting and start creating. The simulation is waiting for your response. What will it be? Simulation reality. Glitch in the matrix. A cityscape with subtle visual distortions. Buildings shifting and warping as if caught in a glitch. Bright neon lights flicker, and people move like NPCs in the background. A subtle distortion in the sky, where clouds appear to be static. Cyberpunk style with surreal elements, blending reality and digital distortion. Quantum world, the edge of perception. A visual representation of quantum mechanics, with particles appearing as waves of possibility. Floating superposition, entangled particles interacting across great distances. A surreal scene where objects pass through solid barriers and shimmer as they change form. Futuristic abstract art with glowing translucent particles. The program behind reality. A digital interface within a city, showing code and algorithms running behind the scenes. Streets are illuminated by lines of code, and pedestrians are silhouettes, unaware of the invisible system controlling them. A mix of high-tech and urban environments, symbolizing the hidden structure of reality. Awareness and mindset, breaking free. A person standing at a crossroads with two divergent paths in front. One path leads to a conventional, mundane life, while the other opens up to a world of surreal possibilities, like bending reality with thoughts, vibrant colors, surrealist elements, and a sense of mental awakening. The glitch in time, temporal distortion. A clock melting into the landscape like Salvador Dali's The Persistence of Memory, with moments of time speeding up and slowing down in real time. People moving in slow motion while objects around them pulse and vibrate as if time is glitching, a dreamlike, distorted perception of time. The code of reality, breaking through the matrix. A close-up of a person's eyes reflecting a digital code, with strings of symbols falling like rain in the background. The person is starting to see through the simulation, breaking through layers of artificial reality. Neon glows, intricate code patterns, and subtle digital distortions in the environment. The simulation's hidden patterns. A scene where nature is subtly disturbed by glitches. Trees flicker, animals fade in and out, and the sky shows faint grid-like patterns. Small, repeating anomalies hint at the artificial nature of the world. The environment is peaceful but cracked, with cracks in the earth revealing glowing codes beneath. Reality shifting, walking between worlds. A person walking down a city street, but the world around them is split into two realities. One side is normal, the other side glitches with digital distortions, falling code, and warped objects. The atmosphere is tense, as if on the verge of discovery. Half of the world is vibrant and clear, while the other half is abstract and surreal. The place where consciousness meets reality. A surreal representation of the brain as a glowing, transparent structure, with quantum particles floating around it. On the other side, a vast digital landscape representing the virtual world of the simulation, showing how consciousness interacts with reality. A dreamlike blend of biology and digital art. Breaking free, becoming conscious within the system. A person standing with arms outstretched, surrounded by digital grids and glitchy patterns, symbolizing the act of becoming aware of the programmed reality. The sky above is split between a clear, natural world and a digital construct, showing the person breaking through layers of control. A sense of freedom, empowerment, and enlightenment.